Hey, what's up everyone? Kobanermoney456 here today, giving you a quick news update, well, hopefully quick, because for the past few days I haven't been doing news updates because I've mostly been focusing on my Let's Plays and stuff. So it's been kind of a while since I've done a video like this, and a lot of Wii U stuff has been announced lately, which is kind of interesting because E3 happened recently, and kind of thought that we were going to be getting a lot of big news there, but actually we're getting a lot of big news continuously still after E3, so it hasn't slowed down or anything like that. So I'm in this video going to kind of try and get you all up to date on what's been going on lately, and hopefully I can cover as much as possible in a little time as possible. So there's been some info going on lately, not sure if it's exactly a rumor or not, because it hasn't come from Nintendo specifically, obviously, so I guess it is kind of a rumor, but basically there's been a rumor going on that the reason why E3 2012 didn't actually have a reveal of Retro Studios game they're working on for the Wii U was basically because right in the middle of the conference, when they were supposed to actually show the game at like the end, right after Nintendo Land and everything, basically Retro Studios called up Reggie Fils-Aimé and told him to actually cancel the whole announcement of their big game in the middle of the show. So then basically, the director or developer working on Nintendo Land had to basically extend his talk for that long, and it was kind of a long showing of Nintendo Land, where it was like longer than everything else. So it kind of was, it kind of disappointed some people that E3's, like Nintendo's E3 didn't go out with a big bang. But basically, yeah, that's a rumor going on, and that the game is actually supposed to be a Star Fox game that Retro is working on. And it's funny because also there have been some recent interviews from Shigeru Miyamoto and Reggie Fils-Aimé talking about how Retro is working very hard on their game. They're not ready to reveal it just yet, but they're working on a game currently right now for the Wii U, and they're trying to bring a franchise back. So it could possibly actually be Star Fox, because some people asked Miyamoto if Retro is working on a Zelda game, but he said no. Currently, Retro's working very hard on the game currently right now for the Wii U, but who knows, maybe in the future Retro may actually work on a Zelda game, which would actually be a pretty awesome idea. And then also another thing that's been talked about a lot lately are the Wii U's online capabilities, and in a recent interview with, I believe, the CEO of Nintendo of America, basically he confirmed that the Wii U, any game that you download on the Wii U, basically you can play it on any other Wii U, so you can play it at a friend's house, or you can buy a new Wii U or something like that and play it on that console, stuff like that. And the way how this actually goes is basically, I think this basically is about Nintendo Network, to where you have your own personal accounts that you can access on the go on your smartphone, 3DS, etc. And basically you can log into that account on any console you want and be able to play your full game library on the Nintendo Network. So I think that's actually pretty cool, because it gives you, it's like with digital games, I've always been hesitant to actually buy digital games, mostly because of like how you can't resell the games and stuff, but also it's usually just stuck on that system. And I like getting instruction booklets in the case and all that old school gaming feel. But with this idea, actually, how you can play digital games on any console, like with the Wii U and stuff, just by logging into your account, I think that's actually a pretty cool idea. It makes it certainly a lot more convenient for people. And speaking of the whole idea of how you can, access Nintendo Network on any device, basically, you can actually download any game for your Wii U on the go, on your smartphone, tablet, PC, 3DS, etc. That's another thing that's been confirmed. Basically, you can do that through the Miiverse. I think that's actually really cool as well. It kind of sounds a bit like Xbox Smart Glass. Also, something else Nintendo has basically confirmed is that how they're not going to be bidding for exclusive online content on their on their online service, I guess Nintendo Network, to where basically, with Microsoft and Sony, sometimes they kind of go head to head trying to get exclusive content on their system only, or exclusive games only for their system. Basically, Nintendo's not going to do that. They're just going to let people decide if they actually want to bring their content to the Wii U exclusively or not, because basically Nintendo thinks that with the whole gameplay design of like the Wii U gamepad and everything else, they think that they don't really need to do that, and that if people are making games for the Wii U, it's going to be exclusive in some form or fashion, to where, you know, the gameplay is going to be different, it's going to be unique, it's probably going to be enhanced over the other versions anyway. Yeah, also there's been a lot of talk about the Wii U's graphics lately, and you know, recently, well, we've heard it from also just regular people, basically saying that the Wii U's graphics looks like Xbox 360 graphics and PS3 graphics, and that it doesn't really look like a next generation console. And the investors have also been trying to bash Nintendo, and they're pretty upset right now because the games kind of are basically like ports of like 360 and PS3 games. And basically, Iwata fired back saying that, you know, they're giving the system, like, they're bashing the system unfairly. Because if you think about it, with Xbox 360 and PS3, the companies have been able to perfect, like, get to know the hardware, the architecture of everything, and the system's power over 6 years. While the Wii U, it's not even out yet, and people haven't had the time to develop for that system. Because if you look at the games from back then on the Xbox 360 and PS3, they look terrible, like, compared to today. Because if you look at games like Call of Duty 2 or Need for Speed on the Xbox launch titles and stuff, they are nothing compared to the games today. They look nowhere near as good. So basically, Iwata was saying, like, if developers have more time to actually work on the Wii U, they can actually make the games look a lot better than current generation consoles right now. And that's currently right now, actually, developers are using about half the power of the Wii U right now. Because, as you know, we've seen like Assassin's Creed and other games like Mass Effect and Batman Arkham City. Basically, they're just porting games, and people currently right now are making games that are just like, you know, 360, like basically identical to 360 and PS3, and just putting them onto the Wii U. So if you think about it as well, if the Wii U's first games, the first launch titles, are looking like the best 360 and PS3 games possible, just think about it in 6 years, how much better it's going to be. Also, another thing, Reggie Fils-Aimé basically said in a recent interview that the Wii U is not all about power. That's not their primary focus right now. Because, you know, he was talking about how with the GameCube and stuff, at that time it was one of the most powerful systems. It was less powerful than the Xbox, but it was more powerful than the PS2. Closer in power to like the Xbox. And basically he was talking about how, you know, power isn't everything these days anyway, because what they're trying to do right now is make the system affordable. So if you think about it, back then, the GameCube, you kind of put this, like, use this as an example. The GameCube was not the best-selling console at the time back then, but the Wii was actually the best-selling console of this generation. So basically it was saying, power doesn't really mean everything. It doesn't mean they're going to get more sales or anything like that, or they're going to succeed more. If you think about it, he does actually have a point, but one thing I do want to say is that the Wii U does need to be powerful so that third parties can actually be inclined to make games for the Wii U, develop for that system, and so that, you know, they can cross-platform games instead of being forced or like, you know, being forced to like actually make two different games, to where one game's for like the PS4 and Xbox 720, and then another game's for the Wii U, because the Wii U can't support games that are going to be on the PS4 and Xbox 720. Another thing, Iwata is talking about how he's a bit skeptical on, you know, the next generation console's power, because as you all know, with this generation, like this coming generation, it's not going to be a huge leap compared to the Xbox 360 and the Sony, like compared to the Xbox 360 was over the Xbox, or the PS3 was over the PS2. It's not going to be a huge leap like that. We're going to see some differences, but, you know, our eyes are coming kind of close to the limit for exactly how much detail we can see. So it's going to basically be, now basically what he's trying to say is now, like with these next generation consoles, it's going to be more about actually different gameplay styles. That's what a lot of people have been saying lately, because you know, Sony and these other consoles, if they put in all this hardware that's like really, really powerful, basically they're going to have a really expensive system on their hands, and, you know, some people don't want to pay that price. That's the whole thing about consoles. You get good looking games, and they're powerful, and the systems are powerful and all, but they're not as expensive as PCs, because PCs can cost around $1,000 or $2,000, and not everyone wants to spend that much. So basically, Iwata was saying, like, you know, how he's trying to keep the Wii U affordable. Like the GPU that's actually in the system, it's maxed out. He confirmed that to the investors, but you know, they're not trying to do like all this. They're not trying to like have the best graphics or anything like that for the next generation. What they're trying to do is actually have something affordable, so that they know that people can reach that price and not have to invest a ton of money into some system that's like super powerful but super duper expensive as well, like the PS3 back then. But you know, he wants to have an interesting gameplay style unique from other consoles. I have two more things before I end this video off really quickly. Basically, another reason why we didn't see a lot of E3 games this year, mostly Nintendo focused on you know, launch games. Like I basically said, that's what Nintendo's focus was on. Trying to, like, the reason though wasn't because they didn't want to get people all hyped up or anything. Like, you know how I said I thought that maybe Nintendo was trying to do it to where they didn't want to show all these games that people are going to have to wait 3 or 4 years for. Basically, the reason why Nintendo did this to where they were not showing all these games is because they don't want companies stealing their ideas, because they're working on these new IPs, and they're working on IPs that are very popular currently right now, but they're working on new IPs, and they don't want these other companies taking their ideas. Because if you look at it, and if you want to think about it, think about Xbox Smart Glass. Just a year after Nintendo announced the Wii U last year, Microsoft wants to pull something that's basically like a copycat of the Wii U, though it doesn't have the capabilities, because, you know, smartphones, or what is it? I mean, tablets don't have buttons or anything like that, so they're not exactly like the same experience as the Wii U gamepad. But basically, that's why we didn't see a lot of games that are like, you know, new IPs at this E3. What Nintendo is going to do basically is trying to keep that stuff close to their chest, kind of announce the stuff and reveal it when the time comes best for it to. Like basically probably around close to the game's launch or something like that, or soon before like the game's launch, to where they're gonna actually reveal games. So revealing these games like several years before they actually come out, and then have some other company take their idea. So yeah, if you think about it, that's pretty smart, because, you know, the other companies are pretty well known for actually taking Nintendo's ideas and try to, you know, make them better or something like that. And then another thing, a pretty interesting story right now, and this is the last one. Basically, there was an interview on Kotaku, the website that I believe is a Japanese website or something. I can't recall what it is. Basically, it's a gaming website. They had an interview with Miyamoto, asked him what one of his new IPs is, and like what the unannounced game he's working on is. And you know, basically he didn't reveal anything, but he did mention that he actually wants to work on a first-person shooter game, but he doesn't have the time for that. And you know, that's kind of interesting. I never did realize that about him, because, you know, we've heard from Nintendo that some of the developers and stuff have said that, you know, if all games were like first-person shooters, you know, they would be very sad or something like that. So it's kind of interesting that he actually said he would like to work on a game like that. And I think it would actually be pretty cool, because it would be like a fun experience, but it wouldn't be as gory or as crass, or, you know, as all these other games that are coming out lately. Because you have to think about it, there's a lot of, like, with the video gaming industry now, people are like in love with violence. It's crazy. So I think it would be kind of you know, refreshing to see what Miyamoto would actually come up with. But give me your opinions on what you actually think about that, because that's kind of interesting to hear. It actually sounds like a pretty good idea. Me personally, I'm not too fond of those kinds of games. I've never been that interested in them. But you know, if Miyamoto did something like that, well, maybe I would play something like that. That would be kind of interesting. But that basically does it for this video. So thank you all so much for watching. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more vids, walkthroughs, and updates. So be prepared for the first few days, like for the coming days and stuff. You're going to be seeing a lot of Gravity Rush for the PS Vita, because I've been doing that Let's Play a lot, and you know, some people are pretty interested in it, and then other people are like, to continue Super Mario Galaxy 2 and stuff like that. And I will be doing that. Hopefully I'll have another part tomorrow sometime, maybe around night or so, not in the morning. I'll probably upload some Gravity Rush in the morning. But you know, Super Mario Galaxy 2 is going to be going up tomorrow, and I'm going to start the Green Star hunt. So definitely stay tuned for that. So thanks again for watching. See you all. Have a good day.